Here we go. So what have I got in store for you today? Today is all about taking action. I'm going to give you 5 simple steps for taking action, because here's what we know. The majority of people, they want something, but they don't quite get it. The problem is that they don't take the action. They have the dream, maybe they know what they want, but they don't quite take the action to get them to where they want to. And I can relate to that. Can you relate to that? And that's sometimes a problem with personal development, because you do all the mindset work, all the inner work, you can do all the meditation you like, but if you don't actually take the action to get to where you want to get to, then, you know, it's all, it's not worthless, but it's certainly not going to have the results that you actually want. So here's 5 simple tips then for taking action. The first thing is, don't wait to be perfect. Don't wait to be perfect. Now, I can relate to this because I used to be more of a perfectionist than I am now. Now, don't get me wrong. Sometimes I'll still procrastinate. Sometimes I'm not aware that I'm procrastinating. Other times I might be starting to become aware that I'm procrastinating. But I used to wait until, you know, it felt right. I'd got everything lined up, all the dominoes lined up, the perfect time, you know, on the full moon, you know, whatever it is. I used to wait until I thought I'd got everything perfect. And then, of course, sometimes if I started and it didn't go perfect, again, I'll be disappointed. So now I've learned to not try and wait for things to be perfect, because guess what? Things are never perfect. There's no such thing as perfect, really. So just get started. Don't wait for it to be perfect. In actual fact, when you get started, even if you make mistakes or have some failures, you learn from them. So in the long run, you're more likely to be successful. You're more likely to be, you know, getting towards perfect than if you're still back on the starting line and not actually doing anything. So that's tip number 1. Tip number 2 is actually commit to taking a step forward. Commit to taking a step. This could be a small step, but commit to it. Now, commitment is different to saying, oh, I should do it. Okay, that's interest. Oh, yeah, I'm interested in that. A commitment is saying, I'm going to do it. To make something a commitment, you can often put a date on it. So I'm going to do it by this date. Obviously, you know, that you don't want just to give yourself years and years, which again could be procrastinating. It might need to be quite a soon date, but it could just be a small step, but make a commitment to actually take it. Okay, so that's tip number 2. Tip number 3 is often make that step a small one. So rather than saying, right, I'm going to take a big step and I'm going to do it, you know, in the future sometime, how about making a commitment, that was tip number 2, to make a small step and do that small step. By you doing that small step, you're 1 step ahead of where you were. And from there, you can gain momentum. So make a commitment and take a small step. Just focus on the small step, and then you can focus on the next small step and the next small step. Okay, so far we've had don't wait to be perfect, commit to taking a step, take a small step to start with. My next one is celebrate success, because what we can do is we can often, our minds often focus on the negatives. Okay, I know mine often does. So what we want to do is we want to start to reinforce the positives. And what this can be is every time you have a little win, it could be a really small win. Hey, taking a small step is a win. You celebrate it. You celebrate it. Now, that celebration could be just a clench of the fist going, yeah. It could be dancing around to your favorite tune. It could be, I don't know, having a takeaway, or, you know, having a nice meal, or, you know, whatever it is, watching a film that you want to watch, whatever you want, however big you want to make that celebration. And it might depend upon what you've actually achieved. At the very least, just recognize it. Recognize it as, yes, I took that step, or I achieved that thing, or I achieved that mini goal. I've done it. Yes, recognize it. Make yourself feel good, even if it's just for a few seconds. Okay, like I say, maybe play a bit of music or something like that. Dance around the room. Celebrate it. Okay, and then it reinforces to your mind that you've done a good thing, that you're being successful, that you're being positive, that you're on the right track, and you start to recondition, what's the word? Recondition your mind towards success and towards action. And that's what this Inner Anthem's insight is about. Okay, so it's really important. When I started to celebrate successes, and to be honest, I've been doing it so much recently, I kind of got out of the habit of doing it. So I need to get back into the habit, or I will get back into that habit. But when I got into the real celebrating successes, and I really made it a priority, every day celebrate my successes, I just felt so much better. And you start to feel so much more in control, so much more empowered. Are you learning something? Hopefully you are. Please write a comment down below if you are. Tag people in, share this, okay, so that other people can gain benefits from it. The last tip then, tip number 5, is to get help. Get help. Now, this could be from a coach, from a mentor, from a friend, from a family member, something like that, but someone that's actually going to motivate you. If it's all about taking action, get some accountability. That help could be where you ask someone's opinions. You've got some barriers, you're not quite sure what to do. So you seek advice, you seek guidance, you seek opinions. That could be it. That could be as simple as, putting out a post on social media. Who knows how to do X, Y, Z? Or it could be that you just hold someone accountable. So remember, what was it? Number 2, I said commit to making a small step. Commitments become more powerful when you actually tell someone else what you're committed to. When you say to someone, I'm going to do this. Can you hold me accountable? If I don't do what I say I'm going to do, can you let me know? Can you have a go at me? Or, I'll give you some money or something if I don't, see it through and I don't actually, carry out what I've committed to. Whatever it is, whatever works for you. But get some help, get some support from other like-minded people. This is why I'm part of certain mastermind groups. This is why I hang around positive people. I'm in the right groups on Facebook. This is it. So when I'm feeling low and I don't feel like taking action, people pull me up, they point me in the right direction, they motivate me once again. So there are my 5 tips for today. Don't wait to be perfect. Commit to taking a step, small step to begin with. Take a small step, celebrate your successes, and get help or accountability. They are 5 steps today. I hope you've enjoyed it. Listen, this is about taking action. So these steps are worthless if you don't actually apply them. All right. So education is great. Knowledge is great if you apply it. If you apply it. And I've learned that in a good way. When I've applied it, it's worked. And I've also learned it through not applying it and suffering the consequences. Okay, so life is always a lesson. It's either going to be a positive lesson or a negative lesson. But, life, the universe is there to help you and try and push you along. So apply what you've learned today. Even if it's just one of these things I've given you. But this is 5 tips. And if you use them together, then, hopefully you're onto a winner. Thanks for watching. Now, before you go, make sure you download this free, powerful visualization that I've given you access to. The address is on the screen. Just type that out and you'll get instant access.